Hi there, my name is Renee. Today I want to talk about leaving your W-2, and I'll talk about my experience so far after 8 months of being gone from teaching, which I was in for 15 years. It is such a different world, different life, different struggle every day. You would think it'd be a lot easier being your own boss and having your own schedule, and I knew this would be my issue. It's harder for me for sure. There is no set schedule, no routine, no bells going off like at school regularly. I have to drum up my own business. It is a completely different world to survive in and live through. So it is a journey, and it does make you grow stronger. It makes you tap into skills you've never had to use before. And that's the good part, is that you grow a ton. You struggle a ton, but you grow a ton. So I'm just going to go over my experience so far and what has kind of helped and where I'm at. Just in case you're going through the same thing, I just want you to know you're not alone, because I have felt quite alone. Most of my friends and family have not gone through this kind of journey, and it's just not easy. It's every day is an adventure, and it's a learning experience. Everyone's so different that, one set of advice isn't going to work for most people. You got to make your own path, and that's the hardest part. So a couple things. Right now, I have two passive sources of income. One is from an oil investment, and one is from a rental that I own, a triplex. So those two investments have helped with income. I also have one source of vertical or active income, and that is I'm a real estate agent. So I've been doing that officially for about 5 years, but now I'm full-time after leaving teaching, and that has been a struggle too, because it is hard to really do what you have to do to be an effective agent. Like, you're supposed to work. Sorry, my dog was barking. So right now, what I'm looking to do, now that I have one active income, two passive sets of income, I am looking to buy more rentals. That's ideally where I'd like to end up, is in the rental space, in managing that and just helping with affordable housing. I know that's a big issue right now, and kind of providing that for people. That would be my service to others. That comes with also its own challenges, so that's been a learning experience. I'm getting there. It's slow, but that's the plan right now, is to be an agent and work on the rentals, like gathering those up, using other people's money, partnering with people, etc. So how I feel in general, and you may relate to this, especially if you're in the same boat. I feel very on uneven ground, very topsy-turvy, it's good because I feel like anything could happen, but I also feel very insecure with my position right now in society, family, etc. It's great to know and to be able to say, like, I can do anything right now, but at the same time, what does that look like? Like, everyone is so different that you have to find that, and you have to try things in order to pivot and to eliminate options so that you can find what you're uniquely meant to do in life. So I am still learning and growing every day. I feel much different each month that goes by. I feel like I've learned a lot, and I feel like I still want to learn a lot about myself and about where I'm going. So that's good. At least I'm not giving up. But it does feel very insecure. Like, it's not easy to not know what direction you're actually going. I have some ideas. I have some things that would really be meaningful, but I have to pick one, and that's the hard part for me, is saying, none of these are going to be important for at least a little bit, and I'm going to really hone in on one thing. So things that I've been kind of doing, I question each idea that I have that I feel drawn to. This is kind of my process. Like, I look at options. I say, what are the good and the bad? And I say, can I see myself doing this long term? Like, is this something that would be meaningful to me? And although teaching I thought would be meaningful to me, I spent probably 10 to 12 years kind of not getting what I thought I was going to get out of teaching. The first couple of years was very difficult. I thought I was getting what I was looking for, but really in the end, it couldn't provide me with what I wanted. So that might sound selfish, but that's just kind of how I felt. It was like Groundhog's Day every day, just teaching out of the same book, same topics every year, the same. So once I like look at an idea and evaluate it, I like to dive deeper into it and learn all I can about it. I don't like making uneducated decisions. I do like making decisions, but that's the hard part. I can educate myself, but then actually deciding on yes or no is where I kind of falter sometimes. Ultimately, what I've been doing after I say yes or no to something is I pivot to something else that's new that I haven't discovered much about yet. So once I pivot to something new, I do the same process over and over. It's like this hamster wheel. I just keep getting on, jumping off, going to a new wheel over and over and over. So that seems to be how I have functioned to this point. I'm trying to get better with that and work on really eliminating the 80% that doesn't work or doesn't get me ahead and just focus on the 20%. So I'm just going to give you guys some ideas on what I've been doing to help with this process. Again, everyone does something different. You may have other success stories or ways that you found what you want to do, and I would love if you put them in the comments. But what I've been doing, I did 75 hard at the beginning of this year, and one of the habits I'm keeping is the reading 10 pages a day. So I think that has helped a lot because it's reading books that are either professional learning or personal help, self-help books, and I think that makes a big difference. Like what I'm listening to and what I'm internalizing is very important every day because now I don't have anyone else. I'm like home alone a lot and I have no other feedback, no other humans to talk to on a regular basis. So just having that in my brain and having positive things go in is very instrumental in helping me move forward. Another thing I do is journaling. So either before or after I read, I like to do it before I listen to anything on YouTube or anything, just so they're my own thoughts and not like a reflection of what I've just heard. I really think journaling's important, and I journal about anything. I don't often have a set of questions I'm answering or a goal I'm trying to reach. It's usually a couple, 2 to 3 pages that I end up with in 10 minutes, and it's really just putting my thoughts on paper. Like, what's bugging me right now? What am I trying to work through right now? What emotions come up when I think of doing this or that? What are some positives and negatives of taking this or that route? It could be anything. So it really just helps me, instead of the loop going on constantly in my brain, I put it on paper so that the loop hopefully either dims down greatly or stops and I can focus on something else. Another thing I've been doing is trying to hone in on only watching YouTube people who promote the 20% that I'm trying to get to, that really hone in on more specific skills or stories of how something worked out for someone. I follow probably a couple dozen people on YouTube, and so I have to get rid of a lot of videos that pop up daily. So I'm just trying to put into my brain the best of the best. So wherever I'm trying to focus on at this point, I'm trying to add value to myself and not waste my time. So trying to be selective with YouTube people. Also, only taking advice from people that have been through this specific kind of experience. They've quit a W-2. Maybe they never had a W-2, and this is how they grew and formed over the years. So it's a journey for everyone, but to hear actual stories of people who've done this is priceless, because then I feel like my story can look similar, or I can pivot at a certain point and mine can then branch to a new area. It's just so nice and so helpful to hear other people that have been in this boat and have had the doubts and have had the struggles and cried and been angry and been happy and finally find that direction, that path that they've been looking for. That's been my hardest part, is where do I want to go? And I know it's not like I have to make the next 10-year decision like now. It can slowly evolve over time, but I feel that pressure to really pick one thing and run with it. And I have to kind of realize that's not how this generally goes. You make small goals, turn them into the bigger goals over time, but you can't be expected to never pivot and never learn and adjust your path. Another thing I've been doing is I ask myself a lot of times the same questions, but months apart, so that I can see how I've changed and grown. Like the one I answered in my journal today was, if money wasn't a factor, let's say I had a ton of money that didn't even play into anything, how would I serve? So my answer was I would serve animals, I would serve the environment, I would serve people through offering housing. Those are the three biggest ones that jumped out at me as I was writing. So asking, that a year ago would have looked a bit different. I guarantee you it's in one of my journals somewhere. But I like revisiting the standard questions because they're going to change your answers, and they are the most vital questions, those big ones that you probably hear a lot in books or on YouTube channels, whatever it is. Kind of going over those many times throughout your life, I think, is important, so your direction is heading in a way that is valuable to you, that you find rewarding. Another thing, cutting out unimportant or unimportant tasks daily. I still struggle with this. I talked to a coach once that was like, look at your calendar. You should have a couple things on there, 2 to 3 things to get done that day. And I'm like, I'm looking at mine right now and I have about 10 things written on today. So I haven't exactly improved on that one, but I'm trying. I'm getting there, but it's slow. I have to do things that are uncomfortable, meaning cut out things that I know don't serve me. And that's hard for me to do because everything has a purpose that I do. It's just, is that purpose really leading you to where you need to go? So I'm trying to get better at that. Another thing I'm doing is trying to stick with the 20% that matters. And I've mentioned 20% a couple times, I think, in this video. But again, eliminating the 80% that doesn't move me forward, and then only planning for the 20 that does. And I'm getting better at that again. It's like such a slow chipping away that it feels like sometimes I don't make progress, but truly I am honing in on what I need to do to get my goals achieved over time here. And another thing is sticking to a daily plan. So that, I knew this would be my struggle. I knew I was always a creature of habit and of routine when someone else imposed it on me, like a school. I got up at a certain time, I had to be at school at a certain time, bell rings at a certain time. Like, I loved that the school just gave me that structure, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful until it was not. And I was like, I feel trapped. But I'm sure that's how a lot of people feel too when they're in a W-2 that's very, regimented and scripted and all that. So that's been an adventure, sticking to a routine. Like I said, I write down stuff on my calendar, and then I generally only get half that done a day. And I don't get it done during the times I put it on my calendar, like 9 to 11. I wanted to shoot YouTube videos, and here it is, 11 o'clock I started. So this seems to be a theme with me. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I have to be cool with, going with the flow and being okay with putting more important tasks first, maybe initially, and then following up with my schedule. So still getting there. I know people who do it all ways. So really it's whatever works for you. So I just wanted to share quick, my struggles and what I'm going through. And if you are too, I sympathize, and you can do it. I still have faith that I will find what I'm meant to do. I hope I don't go broke in the meantime, but I'm trying to make wise decisions and prioritize which tasks get me to which part of each goal. So it's a slow journey, but I know you guys can do it. It's going to take a lot of fortitude, a lot of learning, a lot of decision making, and a lot of introspection. So keep looking inward, because that's where all the answers are. That's all I can say. I keep doing that. I'm trying to hone in on what really is valuable to me in this short life. So good luck with your journey. I would love to hear something below in the comments if you've been through this too, or maybe tips on what helped you, questions you asked yourself, events that maybe led to a change in how you thought, whatever it may be. So if you could like this video, maybe share it with someone else who's struggling. That would be awesome. I know we have to be there for each other. Communities are better than being on our own and secluded. So have a great day, have a great month and year. I will talk to you soon. Bye.